February 9th, 1925. Facts telephone girls glean. Daily conferences held after business hours in Los Angeles mount up into the thousands according to N.R. Powley and G. DeNevers, Southern California telephone officials, who say that at around 5 o'clock every evening, several thousand businessmen call up to inform their wives that they can't get home to dinner, usually because of a conference. During the brief period between 4:45 and 5:10 p.m, the telephone girls handle more calls a minute than at any other time during the day, said Mr. Powley. The bulk of them are men calling up their wives about not being able to get home to dinner. Various other factors that make the traffic in telephone calls jump, and cause switchboards to light up like the proverbial Christmas tree, said Mr. DeNevers, are fires, explosions, and radio announcers requesting listeners in to call up and let us know how you hear us. If a day opens with clear weather and rain comes up later, the number of phone calls increases unbelievably, the officials said. Everybody seems to be calling up to cancel engagements or to rent taxicabs. Checking over the 1,750,000 calls a day, the telephone operators say that the popular notion is correct. Men cannot compete with women in long conversations. Pleasant memory killed by curiosity. Marshal Pétain, as a second lieutenant 40 years ago, served 2 years in a small post near Sospel on the French-Italian frontier. Second Lieutenant Pétain, whose resources were rather slim, took his meals at a modest inn kept by a young girl of remarkable beauty. Recently, Marshal Pétain, representing the French army at the unveiling of a monument to the war dead here, decided to take the trip into the mountains and visit the scene of his garrison life as a second lieutenant. The Marshal admitted to his aides that he was anxious to see how the former beauty of the inn looked after 40 years. He found both the inn and its owner grown considerably larger. 40 years had worked a great contrast, however, in their respective appearance. The inn, refreshed with paint and reconstruction, had become considerably younger, while all the paint in the world could not hide the havoc that the years had wrought upon its once fair owner. Don't you recollect a second lieutenant called Pétain who frequented your place some 40 years ago? The Marshal asked of the old woman at the end of the meal when he saw that she had failed to recognise him. Oh yes, the landlady replied simply. Little Pétain, why he must be at least a captain by this time.